And welcome to Citrus Hill High School for the CIF State Regional Division 2A playoffs at Citrus Hill hosting Calabasas. I'm Pep Fernandez, joined by the great Ron Gueringer. He was so great last week at the CIF Inland Division Championship game as Citrus Hill took on Heritage. We had to bring him back. Coach G, we appreciate the time. As always, your insight is impeccable, second to none. And of course, David Zink from the Press Enterprise here on the end. We're going to break down this state regional for you as we get you set for kickoff at 7:30. And this game will be live, broadcasted on Teen Vision. So please stick around after the pregame show. Get on over to Teen Vision and check out the entire game. Miles Martin and Coach Rechtenwald will have the call. We've got a lot to get to, guys. We're going to break down Calabasas. We're going to break down Citrus Hill. And we're going to take a look at some of the matchups we're going to see tonight. It's all brought to you by Adrenaline Athletic Training in Corona. AdrenalineAthletic.com is the website for all your sports training needs. Spoiled, quick, quality oil change in Riverside. And Orange Crest, Junior All-American Football. They're also on board tonight. They teach football in an atmosphere that challenges and supports team growth, sportsmanship, self-discipline, and competition. We're honored to have a number of our former players playing tonight, as well as a number of brothers and cousins of current players that are on the field tonight, right here for Citrus Hill, as they take on Calabasas in the Division 2A State Regional. All right, guys, the big talk really going into this game. Let's start with Citrus Hill. And, Coach, I think you were the first one to point it out that Citrus Hill, in that CIF championship game, as they won the title in the Inland Division, they didn't attempt a single pass. They didn't need to.
They didn't throw the ball. It was a grinded kind of game. They ran the ball. They did it well. In running the ball, they kept it out of Heritage's hands. They made Heritage probably a little impatient when they got the ball offensively. And they just kept pressure on the quarterback as well from a defensive perspective. But they did a great job offensively. The Juice and the Dude.
That's right. Two great nicknames.
The Juice
two great running backs.
the Juice and the Dude, Floyd and Fisher. They were efficient in the run game, and they made play after play after play, especially on third down situations. They made first downs and kept the ball in Citrus' hands and kept the chains moving.
And David Zink from the Press Enterprise, listen, it doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be stylish. You just got to win a football game. And Eric Zomalt, who in the past has had a lot of great teams at Citrus Hill, but they love to throw the football, he doesn't have to. He adapted to this new type of offense where they can just run the ball and it's working.
Well, last year when they came into the Inland Division, Citrus Hill was considered to be a long shot inside of the Inland Division. And now you see that they've already, in 2 years, he's got himself back in obviously in the front of the class when you're talking about Inland Division teams, but now playing in a state qualifying game. And, he's kind of they kind of redid things, don't you think, Coach, where they were much of a passing team and turned themselves into a nice run game.
Right.
And they've done well with it. Good defense and control the football. And think they're going to win the game tonight?
We're hoping so. I'm going to tell you I'm pulling for the Inland Empire. They dusted off, they went old school and dusted off, even though they were running type stuff. It looked like a little bit of wing tee back to their Canyon Springs days. And they just punched Heritage in the mouth, and they controlled the game on both sides of the offensive line, on the offensive and defensive line. They controlled the line of scrimmage, and it was huge.
They've kind of taken the personality of their coach. Coach Eric Zomalt comes across as a very stern, stoic guy, and they've kind of taken on his personality.
Say the least. He comes across as a competitive, even though I know him and he's a nice guy and he's a pleasant guy, he could be a little intimidating, I'm sure. He's a muscular, strong guy. And these guys come out and they punch you in the mouth. They're physical. They take on that, like you said, that persona of his. And they come out and they're not going to be scared here tonight. Calabasas has a ton of stars. And I'm sure Citrus can't wait to get out there, and they're going to try to punch them in the mouth again.
And it's cold.
Yes.
Yeah, it was chilly. It was chilly last week. They had no problem with it, obviously, moving the football and playing some great defense. And, Coach, is that the sign of a good coach in Eric Zomalt, and that you get into the season and you're an offense that traditionally has passed the ball really well with great receivers? And they have good receivers this year, too. But you see after a couple of weeks, like, you know what, we're going to have to go to the ground game. That's going to be something to hang our hat on. This is what's going to carry us to and ultimately the CIF championship.
Well, what we talked about last week was adaptability, and that was huge. I mean, they looked at the situation. They thought this is the best way we can win, and this is the way we can win football games. And they went out and developed a game plan, and they followed that game plan. They haven't deviated once, and it's proved to be successful with another CIF title.
All right, we had Eric Zomalt on the Inland Sports Show today with David Zink as well, and we were talking